All right, welcome back to the channel. I'm Kraig Strom, yes, the income engineer. You might have seen by the title, because I haven't figured out the actual title of this video just yet. I'm going to go on a bit of a rant right now. And I want to give a big shout out to Emily out there for inspiring this video. Emily, thank you for, number one, just asking questions. Thanks for also checking in with your parents, who are pretty smart, financially savvy folks. And you actually, at 27 years old, demonstrated something that so few 27-year-olds, let alone 50-year-olds, actually do, which is seeking advice from multiple people, including their parents. So awesome on you. And you are, I think, in my personal opinion, on track to just do fantastic things. So make sure that you share this video with your friends. Like it, comment on it, put it on your Facebook page, whatever you want to do. I would love for one of my videos to go viral and get all kinds of folks commenting and sharing on it, because this particular topic, it drives me nuts. I just don't have a multi-million-dollar budget like big financial entertainers such as Dave Ramsey have these huge budgets to buy their way into Facebook and YouTube and all the algorithms. I just don't have it. So this message gets lost unless viewers actually reach out there and get excited about it with me. So I would love it. Let's get into this. So Emily actually had some questions. She was wondering whether or not she was on track financially. At 27, she's working in the family business. She's got a great education, did awesome in school, and now is applying that education in the family business and on track to, like I said, do great things. And the cool part is, I think it's cool, she's actually questioning whether or not she's on track financially, fiscally being smart and such. And as it turns out, she is completely doing a great job. Number one, by challenging things that she has heard, that she's hearing from financial entertainers. So what I did to start the conversation, we had a Zoom meeting like this. What I did was I just asked, so, okay, you've listened to Dave Ramsey, right? She said kind of sheepishly that she listened to Dave Ramsey. She says, my dad says you're not going to like this. Well, I love it because you're seeking education, you're seeking knowledge. And the part that I'm hoping people will do is when they take this podcast or any other podcast or a YouTube video, that they might challenge it and ask questions. And that's what Emily did. So I did not prejudge anything, or I didn't give her any direct taste of my bias. Okay. I just said, what do you think about the advice that Dave Ramsey has been, giving out there as you listen to and consume his content? And she said something to the effect that it just didn't seem right. Like that's my opinion. Now, I don't want to put words into her mouth. I'm trying to remember that it was more like the vibe that I got back from Emily was, it just didn't feel right. Like this was right for her. Something just didn't feel right. And that got the conversation going, and it got me thinking, I need to cover some things because I haven't talked about it in a while. I've got to get this off my chest, and I really want this. I would love nothing more for this to go viral and people to just jump on and start commenting and going off on this and sharing it out there, because too many people don't know this stuff, that they've never questioned it beyond the advice given by the big multi-billion-dollar corporations, the multi-million-dollar financial entertainers. They just soak it up like baby birds and they go, okay, and they never ask questions. They just take it as gospel. And that is the part that will get you in trouble. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take several points that Dave Ramsey, right? This is the gospel according to Dave Ramsey, right? The big guy, the biggest financial entertainer on the planet right now. I'm going to take several key points that Dave Ramsey says, these are gospel. You're a terrible financial planner if you say anything to the contrary to what Dave Ramsey has said. You're a terrible, well, I won't say you're a terrible person. You're a misguided individual, and you need to come back to the flock and follow the gospel of Dave Ramsey. And if you're not following it, yeah, you might be an idiot. Like, he gets pretty rough sometimes with the way that he'll say, well, that's just, not good. And he'll be pretty rough. He's very passionate about it. And I appreciate that. Let me be clear here. I think Dave Ramsey has done a great service to millions of people because he is having a conversation about being fiscally smart, being smart with your money. The part that I disagree with is that he says things emphatically and doesn't ever deviate away from what he said. Like it's right, like his gospel is right for everyone all the time. And that is not correct. It is not correct at all. In fact, I've listened to advice given by Dave Ramsey that I personally would lose my license. I would lose my license as a certified financial planner, chartered financial consultant, investment advisor. I would lose my livelihood if I gave advice like Dave Ramsey, because his advice is terrible. It's not right for everyone. So that's my first big beef, is that Dave Ramsey gives out this patent same advice for everyone. And he says, these things are fact. They are gospel, the gospel of Dave Ramsey. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go through, here's the, a few things that are on my list, and let's talk. Okay. Here we go. All right. So you can see my screen here. And we're going to go through these one at a time, fast and furious, no cuts, no edits, just Kraig ranting, but ranting with details, right? Because I don't just throw it out there. I've already tested this stuff. So Dave Ramsey says, the gospel of Dave says you should pay off your home as fast as you can. 15-year mortgages are the best way to go. Okay, let's check that. All right. Dave Ramsey also says, if you're going to invest in rental real estate, you should pay cash for your rental real estate. Okay. All right. Let's talk about that. Oh, here's a big one. Cash value life insurance is always bad. Always bad. Oh, okay. Cash value life insurance is always bad. Credit cards. Oh, credit cards. Credit cards are always bad. All right. And finally, reverse mortgages are a scam. So Dave Ramsey actually says that he's been public saying that in the past, and says reverse mortgages are a scam. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's go through the first one. Pay off your home fast. 15 versus 30-year mortgage. Now, this is one of those things where if you listen to a financial entertainer like Dave Ramsey, who, by the way, right, if you look over here, let me just talk about this for a quick sec. I'm going to switch over here, and this should actually come up with the Certified Financial Planning Board of Standards. I'm a CFP. Here's the thing that Dave Ramsey does not have to worry about, that all of us, tens of thousands of certified financial planners in the US and Canada and all around, we have to worry about a fiduciary responsibility where we can, as I said, lose our license. This wonderful person, Morgan McGovern, is a certified financial planner. Her face is popping up on the CFP website just while we're looking, right? She could lose her livelihood if she gave out advice the same way Dave Ramsey does. I could lose my livelihood. Certified financial planners and financial advisors in the industry that have gone the extra mile to seek out the education, the experience, the knowledge they need to provide comprehensive financial advice, I find it offensive that someone like Dave Ramsey, who operates under freedom of speech, which I am a huge proponent of the First Amendment, absolutely, But I find it offensive that someone like Dave Ramsey can operate under freedom of speech with no licenses, no fiduciary responsibility to his listeners or his readers, and give out, in many cases, horrible, life-changing, family and generational wealth-changing bad advice. So if you're going to do anything, please keep that in mind. Like, who's giving you the advice? Does that person have any skin in the game, any risk on the good advice versus bad advice? Okay, so let's cover this one here. Dave Ramsey says, pay off your home fast, 15 versus 30-year mortgage. Okay, he'll argue that, oh, you pay so much in interest and such. Oh, it's terrible. Okay, well, let me share my other screen. I've got a lot going on in this particular video, and I want to go through this. So I'm a nerd for this stuff. So I don't just take it gospel. I test it. I want to test it. So I did. I put together a sample case comparing a 15-year mortgage to a 30-year mortgage. Okay. Now, this comparison has 7 pages long. I'm only going to go through the summary. If you really want to look and see, just send me an email, Kraig with a K at kraigstrom.com, KraigStrom.com. And I'll send you my 15 versus 30-year mortgage document where I actually run the case. Okay. So the Gospel of Dave says, oh, you got to pay 15-year mortgage so you're not under the thumb of the bank, right? And your house is paid off and you don't have a mortgage. Well, when do you start investing? Well, after you pay off your house. Well, of course, you put some money in your 401k, the baby steps and all that stuff. I know it very well. But you pay off your house fast so it's paid off. So Dave is a big proponent of 15-year mortgages, 15-year mortgages right here. Okay, so stay with me. So here's what I did. I took an average mortgage, right? Not California, 2 or 3 bedroom house for $1.5 million, just a $200,000 mortgage. And we put a 30% tax bracket. That's fine. 5.875. Now, my mortgage rates are a little off because I'm not going to update this every single time the Fed changes their rates. The math adds up and subtracts and divides. It adds up every time the same. If you keep the numbers the same, everything works out in the formulas when you do the math. So here's what it looks like. Okay. We're going to do a 15-year mortgage compared to a 30-year mortgage, right? And the argument that you get from people who pitch 15-year mortgage, biggest argument you get, you're going to pay off your house faster and you're going to save a ton of money on interest. Okay. If you stop right there, that makes sense. You're going to save $100,000 in interest or whatever the number is. But that's not the end of it. So here's what we look at. If you get a 15-year mortgage, you're going to have a payment in this example of $1,674 a month. $1,674 a month. You're going to pay just about $71,000 in interest. There it is, right? There it is, $71,000 in interest. And if you look over here, right, there we go. The house is worth $339,000 at the end of this example. Okay, there we go. We've got a house paid for, done. Okay, now, stay with me. 15 years. Okay, now, 30-year mortgage, our payment is actually $1,231 as opposed to $1,674. $1,674. Everybody got it? Watch this. We're going to do a 30-year payment on a 30-year mortgage, but you saved $442 on your monthly mortgage payment. So if you're not sending that to the mortgage company to put cash in your house, what could you do with that? You could invest the difference. And if we use Dave Ramsey's own investment guru advice, right, we're going to invest $5,300 a year for 30 years, right? Because this is a comparison to see what life looks like at the end of 30 years. Because everybody says, oh, well, you know, we're going to be able to, right? We're going to be able to invest our monthly payment after we pay off our house. After we pay off our house, we invest our monthly payment and we've got $339,000. That's the part I wasn't clear on, right? So here we don't start investing our mortgage payment, right? Because we're paying $1,674, the total. Then we invest for 15 more years and we end up with $339,000 plus the house. Let me clarify that. There you go. Okay. Now, in the 30-year mortgage example, we start investing the difference, $442,000, immediately. Day one. And at the end of 30 years, we have $673,000. Using the same investment rates of return, just keep things simple, right? This is a 30-year mortgage and invest the difference. Okay. All right. $673,000. Wow. Okay. Let's do the economic impact here. At the end, by the way, okay, at the end, we still have the house, of course, right? We still have the house, but how much money do we have invested outside the house? This is amazing. By having a 30-year mortgage, a 30-year mortgage allows you to make a greater return because you start earning your compounding return day one instead of waiting for 15 years. Do you know what the most important piece of the compound interest formula is? Time. You start investing early and it will always win. Always win, right? The argument is, oh, look, you spent almost $100,000 more interest. Yes. But here's another little economic fun fact. Compound rate of return always beats amortized rate of return. So if you start compounding early, you end up with more money. You've got a paid off house at the end of 30 years, but you also have $334,000 more in investment money because you started early. Now, one additional piece to think about. Well, more than that, but from a security point of view, you're paying for a 15-year mortgage. Can you ever call the bank and say, hey, my wife got disabled and she can't work. Can we pay our 15-year mortgage like a 30? No. The bank says, no, your next payment is due, period. Hey, we've been paying on that mortgage. Like, you know, we need to lower our payment. Well, fill out this application for a refinance. Yeah, but my wife's not working now. Oh, then we're not going to approve your loan for a refinance. Or we will, but your interest rate will be higher and we're going to add it all onto the back of your mortgage. Okay, folks, from a security point of view, a 30-year mortgage is just safer. You can pay a 30-year mortgage like a 20-year mortgage. You can pay it like a 15. You can pay it like a 10. You can pay it however you want. But you can never pay a 15-year mortgage like a 30. You don't have the flexibility if your life goes sideways to make that kind of a change. Okay? Now, so that's 15 versus 30. Dave Ramsey's gospel, wrong. Wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Okay? Next. Let's go to the next one here. I want to get back to, let's share the screen so you can see where we're at. We're going to check. Here we go. What's the next one? Okay. Pay cash for rental real estate. Now, I'm just going to stay on this screen. Suffice it to say that I can go through and prove using the same basic test, the same math. Do your own math. But I'll say this. I have been in some very large real estate investment conferences. Folks that have one rental property in Memphis, Tennessee, and sitting next to that person, they have 200 rental properties in Southern California, and they make $500,000 a month. So I have talked to and sat with and spoken to groups of people in the real estate investment space across the spectrum, from those who just started and they have an accessory dwelling unit in their backyard in Los Angeles that they spent way too much money on, but it cash flows, okay? All the way up to folks who are worth tens of millions. We have in our law firm billionaire clients. And I've asked this question multiple times. Hey, what do you think about Dave Ramsey's advice where you should always pay cash for rental real estate? And I'll clean it up and just say, every single time across the spectrum of real estate investment, that it is universally, that is the worst advice anyone in the room can possibly imagine. The worst advice. You do not want to put your money inside a piece of real estate sitting still. The beauty of rental real estate and real estate in general is that the tax code incentivizes buying real estate. That's a big deal in the tax code. But if you look at real estate in general, and I ask you, what is the rate of return that you make on your cash, paid for cash house? You paid cash for a $200,000 house. What's the rate of return that you make on the money that you paid for the house? Well, there is no rate of return on the money that you put in the house. The money that you put in the house earns nothing. The house has a rate of return, will appreciate with inflation, but the $200,000 that you put in cash inside the house, zero. It will sit at zero as long as it is held in the walls of your house. So in the real estate investing space, real estate investors know that the rules of investing in real estate are not location, location, location. Number one, you buy it cheap. Number two, with other people's money, you put someone else's money, the bank's money, inside the walls of that house because the bank's money is sitting still. They do charge an interest rate for the fact that their money is now tied up in the walls of your house, right? And then that third thing, by the way, is just in a good market. Not a good neighborhood necessarily, a good rental market, okay? Doesn't have to be beautiful, just has to be a good rental market. So pay cash for rental real estate? No, that's crazy. How does any average investor in the beginning of their real estate career, how do they have the time to save up $200,000 and the money necessary to be ready for an air conditioner to break, right? You use bank financing correctly. You finance properly. You get a 30-year mortgage and you get a good loan and you in a good market and you rent it out and let someone else pay for the mortgage. That's the way it works. Okay. All right. Let's go through the next one here. Hold on just a sec. Let me get the screen popped up. Just a moment. All right. Sharing the screen back on here. Just want to make sure these are coming up correctly. All right. What's the next one? All right. Cash value life insurance is always bad. Always. Always. Oh my gosh. In the Gospel of Dave, any advisor, me, or any of those CFPs on the CFP website that ever recommend cash value life insurance, they are the messengers of evil. It's terrible. Here's the thing. That is one of the most, I don't know if I want to use that word, but I don't know, insidious. It's the most ridiculous thing to say, that a product that has been around for hundreds of years, that cash value life insurance has been around for hundreds of years, that it is always bad. It is not always bad. One of the greatest wealth transfer devices, financial vehicles on the planet, is properly applied and used cash value life insurance. Cash value life insurance, we can go into a whole different discussion about that. But here's what I want to do. I want to use this as the example, because this is the kind of thing that Dave Ramsey can never, ever, he can't answer this. He would never have someone like me on his show that would challenge him with this question and say, okay, wait a minute. You're saying that cash value life insurance is all bad all the time, no matter what. So what do I tell Louise? So Louise, real client of mine, okay, that was in a tough situation. Her husband handled all the finances for her, all the finances pretty much. And he had a stroke. Now, they lived very well. They had some really nice investments. One of their investment accounts was specifically earmarked in their planning to give to their grandchildren. That's nice. Well, Louise's husband had a stroke, and then he continued after his recovery to mess around with his investment accounts, and he would not get help. And what happened before he ended up going into a nursing home, his accounts had basically been cut in half. His investment accounts would just drop dramatically because the work that he used to do was very research intensive. He really loved playing with the investments and moving them around and buying and selling. And well, his mind went, and he wasn't doing it anymore. And then I had to be the bearer of bad news to let Louise know that that investment account for her grandchildren had been cut in half. Half. She was so mad. She was upset. She was sad. And I said, so do we need this for you, Louise? Do you need this money? Oh my gosh, no, I've got his airline pension and his military pension, and I'm fine. I just wish that account could come back, but I don't want to be in the stock market. She's so scared, all the things that she sees on the news. And so here's what I suggested. I said, I asked her actually, I said, if there was a way for you to use a financial vehicle that could potentially give back the entire amount that you had originally had, would you want to look into it? Now, notice I did not say life insurance, because a lot of folks have this pre-programmed idea that all life insurance, that's bad. You're just selling me something. So I just asked that question in a specific way, and she said, oh my gosh, yes. Yes, I want to know. And I said, well, we might be able to use a life insurance company to give them whatever's left in the investment account and see if they will approve you for a much larger amount. It's called single premium cash value life insurance. It's not easy to get, especially at 77 years old. Listen, 77 years old. And she doesn't have time to take big risk in the stock market. Her husband, unfortunately, lost half the money. So the account had dropped to $200,000 from $400,000. That's a big drop. We put in an application with an insurance company, went through all of the questions in health and heart and kidney cancer and all the stuff. And the insurance company, to my surprise, actually, because I told her, I don't know, we got to find out. She said, yes, we want to find out. Her daughter was involved in the process. The insurance company actually came back with a good offer. And here's what they gave her. For $200,000 deposited into this single premium cash value, so bad, cash value life insurance, the life insurance company guaranteed day one a little over $400,000 income tax-free benefit to her grandchildren. Okay, hear that again. $200,000 into that horrible, terrible cash value life insurance. And the insurance company, by the way, is 150 plus years old, guarantees a death benefit of $400,000 income tax-free back to her grandchildren. Did we just replace the losses from her dearly departed now husband? Yes. Did we do it on a guaranteed basis, guaranteed by the claims paying ability of the life insurance company, which has never in the history of mankind missed a claim? Yep. Did we do it without any stock market risk? Yep. Is she super happy? Super happy. Yes. Is cash value life insurance all bad? No, not at all. Did I meet with someone last week that had been sold cash value life insurance inappropriately, in my opinion? Completely wrong. Gives cash value life insurance and insurance advisors like me a bad rap. Yes, I was mad. I'd like to just kick him in the shin, right? It's just unfortunate it does happen. But is cash value life insurance all bad? No, not at all. Okay. Now, this one here, again, I'm just going to talk through this one because this is one that Dave Ramsey is like, throw away your credit cards and never use credit cards. And credit cards are all bad. And you're an idiot if you're using credit cards. Credit cards are horrible. Okay. When you go to the store, you go to Walmart, you go to the grocery store, you go wherever, and you go in and you're listening to Dave Ramsey's gospel and you say, I'm paying cash because I'm fiscally responsible. You know what you're doing? You're paying the 3% credit card fee on everything in the store, no matter what. If you pay cash at Walmart, you are paying the 3% elevated cost of goods that Walmart, Target, grocery store, Shaw's, Kroger, they all build in the credit card processing fees into their pricing. When you pay cash, you are in fact paying the credit card price. But if you follow the gospel of Dave, you're getting no benefit for the credit card price that you are paying at every single checkout you go to. Now, yes, you can go to the gas station and you can slip your cash into the ATM machine at the gas station and pay cash and get a cheaper price. I don't know any other place nowadays that you can go in and effectively get a cash discount at a grocery store. No, they don't do cash discounts at a grocery store. It's built into the price you're paying. So when you shop on Amazon, you can't shop on Amazon. Well, I guess you could with a debit card, a debit credit card. But guess what? You're paying the credit card fee price anyway. People think, well, I'm paying with my debit card, which is essentially cash connected to my checking account. Bad idea. Very bad idea. But that's another story. And I'm paying cash basically. So I'm smart because I'm following the gospel of Dave. No, what you're doing is you're paying the credit card price and getting zero benefits for it. So the alternative is you can be smart, fiscally responsible with your credit card. So the advice to my dear daughter, Madeline, hello, Madeline, if you've watched this all the way through, I love you. She does watch my videos. Thank you, dear. Okay. If you use your credit card responsibly, your credit score goes up. You increase your credit score because you're demonstrating the use of credit. And people like Dave say, oh, yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Just no credit cards. Pay off your mortgage fast. Whatever. You pay cash for your life and you don't need to worry about a credit score. Yeah, you do. My daughter just signed a lease. She has a 750 plus credit score because she's followed the advice of her pretty good dad, right? I haven't been a perfect dad, but I give out some good advice now and then. She's able to get her own, just a lease with no help from me, no help from her mom, because she has a very high credit score because she uses her credit cards responsibly. My wife and I use our credit cards for everything we possibly can because we're smart and responsible with what we're buying. We're not spending it on things that need to be paid off. We are paying cash for them. But if I'm going to go into Walmart and I'm going to pay the credit card price anyway, which is a fact, it's going to happen. It's built in. I'm going to get airline miles on my Southwest Chase credit card that I can then use to travel. I can give my daughter a trip anywhere in the U.S. on my Southwest airline miles because we use it for everything. Okay. So all credit cards are bad. No, that I think personally, again, that's advice given to the average person that they don't ask any further questions. It's just blanket advice that folks will listen to. And you go out and I'm going to pay cash. I've got my envelopes and I'm going to pay cash for my groceries. You're paying cash for your groceries at the credit card price and getting no benefit for it. So I wholly disagree. Okay. Big time. Now, I just realized I missed something. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Hold on. I want to find something here. I went right into the credit cards and I gotta show you something before I forget. This is cool. So let me stop this and I want to reshare this because this is a big time deal. I gotta come back to this this piece right here because oh my gosh. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, right here. Okay. Let's make sure that this pops up on the screen. Bank of America. All right, stay with me on this because this is amazing. Okay, this is amazing. Remember, again, I'm backing up. I told you this is going to be a free form, no edits. And I just realized I missed a tab. Okay, I missed something I wanted to share with you. Okay, now, Dave Ramsey, Gospel of Dave, says all cash value life insurance is terrible. It's a spawn of the devil. Anybody who sells you cash value life insurance is a grifter. He's actually said things like that. Like, okay. Well, Bank of America. How does the banking industry think or feel about cash value life insurance? And here's a good question. Who rules the world? It's banks. Who has the biggest buildings in every city you can go to in the world? Banks. Right? Who finances the world? Banks, right? It's banks. Banks have all the power, right? The banking system there. It's just a fact. So what you can do, and this is, again, I'm a nerd for this. And this is where, again, Dave Ramsey would never want to have a conversation about this, right? And this is what I missed earlier, is let's go. Let's take a look. Let's see how Bank of America feels about what Dave Ramsey says about life insurance, cash value life insurance. And most people don't know that you can actually go to the FDIC and you can pull up the entirety of the balance sheet for Bank of America, any bank in the US. Okay. Some of Dave's own sponsor banks partner banks that I've looked up as well. Okay. But here's what you do. It's a long balance sheet, as you might imagine, but you come down here to line 323. And lo and behold, Bank of America holds life insurance cash value, not death benefit, cash value on their balance sheet. Not just a little bit either. By the way, these numbers are all in thousands. Add 3 more zeros, they have about $24 billion in cash value. Billion in cash value inside horrible, terrible cash value life insurance. Okay. So do you think banks in general are more financially savvy than Dave? I'm going to say yes. Do the banks ever do anything that's bad for the bank? Most of the time, no. Right? So why in the world would they have $24 billion inside such a terrible financial asset? My opinions, because the Federal Reserve says that cash value life insurance is one of the most secure and best places that banks could hold their reserve assets. Yeah, the Federal Reserve considers cash value life insurance to be one of the best places that banks could hold their reserve assets. Apparently, it's not all that bad. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next one and the last one on the list. Dave Ramsey says reverse mortgages are a scam. He said it before, and you can go to his website. And what is a reverse mortgage? Okay, so I'm going to pull it up right here. What is a reverse mortgage? Let me make sure that I've got the screen share working correctly so that I don't miss this last part. Okay, here we go. What is a reverse mortgage? Well, we can go into a long story about what is a reverse mortgage, but what I wanted to get to, right, because he's got this big write-up. Why this big write-up? Big write-up on reverse mortgages. It's pretty good, but here's where I stop. Okay. He says it's a scam, by the way. You could hear him say it on his radio show and such. Reverse mortgages are a scam. Like, very adamant. The Gospel of Dave says only stupid people use reverse mortgages and horrible financial advisors, that would ever recommend such a thing. Well, the pro is that for some people, they can access cash for living expenses and you don't have to make monthly payments, right? But that's not that simple. So the pro is one paragraph finished with a lead into a negative, right? That it's amazing. The bias, it's incredible, right? You're putting yourself back in debt, blah, 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 blah. It's amazing. The bank is literally lending you your own money back. Yeah. It's a way for seniors to have access to all of that money that's earning what rate of return in your house? Zero rate of return inside the walls of your house. Okay. And here we can get it back out because the cost of eggs went up 500 times. The cost of your gas bill in Southern California just doubled and tripled in some places, right? We need some extra income for living, to live our life. How about we go get a reverse mortgage, get tax-free income from our house, and we leave whatever's left to our kids? That's how it works, right? But no. The pro is this, okay? Okay, and then we go into the cons. You can't tap into your home's value anymore. You'll owe lots of fees. Oh, reverse mortgage is terrible. Here's a calculator to tell you how bad it is. It's terrible. You could lose your home. No, people don't lose their homes anymore. There's a lot that goes into reverse mortgage, but look at it. You could lose your home. Oh, okay. Now watch this. This just blows my mind. And then I'm going to share a story to wrap this up about my mom. Okay. Talk to a mortgage expert. Notice the language. Don't talk to a reverse mortgage expert. This is okay. Before you make any decisions on reverse mortgages, speak to an expert who knows the ins and outs of everything to do with mortgages. Our trusted friends at Churchill Mortgage can help. Oh, really? So if I want to learn about reverse mortgages, I should click right over here and connect with this trusted mortgage loan professional who pays big money to be part of the Ramsey Solutions empire, right? To be part of the gospel of Dave. So if I click on that link, what do I get? I should be able to go and research reverse mortgage questions, right? Oh, wait a minute. I'm here at Churchill Mortgage now, the paid partner of Ramsey Solutions. Where's the section? Let me look. Where's the section that I can ask about reverse mortgage? Oh, I see I can get a mortgage here apparently for purchase. I could also ask about refinance. Yeah, I don't see any easy options about reverse mortgage. I wonder what Churchill Mortgage will try and sell me. Do you think maybe they'll try and sell me a refinance or a regular purchase mortgage? Yeah, folks, reverse mortgage is not all bad. It's not. It's absolutely not. Have I seen reverse mortgages that, oh man, I thought it was just wrong. I think it was wrong that people that have, I don't say scammed into a reverse mortgage, but use them inappropriately. And it's just wrong timing, wrong house, all that. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Reverse mortgage, in my opinion, one of the most powerful financial tools available for seasoned citizens that exists, period. Okay. That if my mom had listened to the gospel of Dave Ramsey, she would not be in nearly as good a financial condition as she is right now. She wouldn't be. If she had met another financial planner, except for her son, who was a Dave Ramsey devotee, maybe one of those alliance partners who pays a lot of money to be that one of those clickable trusted advisor links on Dave's page. Those people pay money to be there, and they don't get to be there if they question the Dave Ramsey gospel. They got to toe the line or they are not approved vendors. So what if my mom had gotten that advice? Well, I tell you what, she'd still be renting an apartment, because my mom and dad were taken advantage of by a realtor and his crew of scammers. And they went into a property, they purchased it. This was their retirement home. It was going to be their forever home. They didn't follow my advice on the forever home. They'd gotten this, 2-story beast of a house, and that's not a forever home. A forever home is single story, level entry, so you can get your rascal scooter in the front door. Okay. But they got this house and they were defrauded. The inspector lied. The mortgage person didn't disclose what they knew about the house. The realtor was he was the head of the scammers. And ultimately they lost their house. They had to walk away from this house. It was a disaster. And they lost all the equity in the house. They lost it all. And then they were renting. And when my dad got sick with cancer, they came back to California and they were renting again because they didn't have the equity money to buy a house anymore. They had fixed income retirement and dad was dying of cancer. Okay. Well, dad died. And then I sat down with my mom, and we talked about a plan. And I said, I'd like to propose an idea to help you so you don't have to basically pay rent forever, because that's what she was going to have to do, is pay a rent payment forever. So the alternative was, how about we work on a plan to help her buy a house, buy a small single-story level entry, easy to manage house near family, and that I would loan her the money for the down payment because she didn't have it, right? They got hit hard by these scammers. So she had good income from pensions and Social Security and such, but not a lot of cash left over. Okay, so I could loan her the money to buy a house. And then I said to my mom, Mom, all you got to do is get older and continue to pay, watch air quotes, pay rent. Those of you listening on the podcast, I just did the air quotes on the video. Yes, I have a YouTube channel, Kraig Strom, KraigStrom. Check it out. Okay. So I said, Mom, all you got to do is get older and just pay down the regular 30-year mortgage. So she paid it down, and it was about 5 years. She got older. She qualified for a reverse mortgage for no problem, and the value of her home went up, and the mortgage came down so that the ratio was just right, where she had enough equity to qualify for a reverse mortgage that would just wipe out her primary mortgage. So we took what would have been essentially a rent check if she paid her 30-year mortgage forever, because she went to Churchill Mortgage and they said, oh, well, reverse mortgages are terrible. You should get a 30-year mortgage, right? Well, she would have essentially had a rent payment, the 30-year mortgage payment, because she would never pay it off. She would die with a mortgage payment, all so that my sister and I would inherit the house, right? Okay. How about instead, she now has this house where the ratio of value to the mortgage was just right, and she got a reverse mortgage and stopped the mortgage payment. So now she has her forever home. She has no mortgage payment. She doesn't pay a rent payment anymore. She pays taxes and insurance, but she doesn't have a rent payment anymore, a mortgage payment. She now is able to keep that cash in her pocket and take her granddaughter to New York and go on a trip and go see her girlfriend in Maine and go trip around and enjoy life. She also has medical students that rent rooms from her. Another smart idea that her wonderful certified financial planner son suggested years ago, and she rents out rooms in her home to med students who work at the hospital nearby. Okay, so the reverse mortgage was the principal part of the change in my mother's financial life for the better. And yet someone like Dave Ramsey says adamantly, it's a scam. It's terrible. The pros are this, but it's horrible. Like, what? That is a load. Oh, it's a load of it. Okay. So folks, when you go through any of the podcasts, YouTube, whatever it is that you're consuming out there, ask questions, challenge it. Feel free to send me an email, but best of all, comment on this video. Tell me how you feel about it. And Emily, once again, if you've made it all the way through this, you inspired this rant, this recording has been no edits, start to finish, because I am passionate about it. And if there was any way to get this flying around YouTube and Facebook and just get this out there to share the message, I would love it. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been helpful. Anyone out there, send me a question, Kraig with a K at kraigstrom.com. Podcast listeners, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel. Okay. Make sure that you catch it there. You can see the animation on the face of the retirement expert, income engineer, Kraig Strom. But now it's time to wrap it up. Folks, take care. Ask questions, challenge the status quo, challenge the mainstream, and ask questions. And if you got them, send them my way. Hey, it's me again. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me. I really appreciate it. If you like what you heard and you want to be awesome, please consider leaving a review on iTunes or Google Play, or a great comment on YouTube. Wherever you found the content, it would be awesome if you would just go ahead and like it, share it, comment on it. If you want to be totally awesome, do it all. Again, thank you for spending your valuable time with me on the show. Now, for the wicked fun disclosure. Information presented is for educational purposes only. It is not intended as a solicitation of sale for the purchase of any security or financial product. Be sure to first consult with a qualified, hopefully certified, financial planner or advisor and your tax professional before implementing any strategy discussed here. And by the way, the term the income engineer is a nationally registered trademark.